Okay, so I watched WrestleMania. WrestleMania 35, MetLife Stadium, over 80,000 people. And I must say that I really enjoyed the show. I really enjoyed the show. I thought that WrestleMania this year was much better than it was last year, especially the fact that for the first time, man, in over 20 years, we didn't even have The Undertaker. It was a good WrestleMania, man. But I don't understand some people. I don't understand some people how they can just sit back and just basically ish on a whole entire show, all because of a few small moments. And honestly, I have come to the conclusion that people will never be satisfied. They will never be satisfied. They will never be satisfied no matter what the WWE gives them. Here we had a WrestleMania that the majority of WWE fans wanted. Yet, we're still complaining. I just don't get it. We wanted Brock Lesnar to lose for months, years even. We have been talking about how Brock Lesnar has brought down the product. Nobody even sees the Universal title. It's never on TV. I mean, he comes when he wants to. He leaves when he wants to. We don't want to see Brock Lesnar as Universal Champion. Seth Rollins beats Brock Lesnar. And now the narrative is the match could have been longer. This is what I see on Twitter. This is what I see on social media. The match could have been longer. Tell me, when has Brock Lesnar had a 15 to 20 minute catches can type match? I'll wait. You'll probably have to go back in the mid 2000s to find that. We talk about how we wanted Finn Balor to be pushed. The only thing I'm going to say about Finn Balor, I feel like if he would have just came out as the demon, then we probably would have been more excited about it. But we have pushed for Finn Balor to get a push, and he beats Bobby Lashley and becomes Intercontinental Champion, and now we have a problem with that. I mean, I just don't get it. And everything on a card is not going to be good. I don't know why people just think that you're going to see flawless execution every single match. It's not going to happen. Oh, well, NXT is great. NXT is great. NXT is great. But you want to really know what makes NXT great? Crowd participation. Crowd participation. That's what makes NXT great. That's what it makes it stand out from all the other shows that WWE put on. Crowd participation. And it's not because these guys have better matches. I mean, I seen NXT TakeOver New York. I seen it. I mean, the matches, they were okay. But for the most part, it was mostly about the crowd. But see, I'm an old school wrestling fan. I mean, I go back to 1990. You know, when a person actually performed the finishing move and it actually ended a match. I mean, we talk about memorable moments. I guarantee you, 10 years, 15 years from now, people are not going to be talking about Johnny Gargano taking on Adam Cole. I mean, they're not going to be talking about that match. And to be quite honest with you, man, all those false finishes, like, seriously, man, I ain't down with that. I mean, that's what people want. A bunch of spot monkeys, people flipping all over the place, people, doing all these acrobatic moves to wow you and get you out of your seats, but you don't remember that crap. 10, 15 years from now, you're not going to remember that. Hell, 10, 15 minutes from now, you're not going to remember that. I want to go to a comment that was made by a guy that I respect a lot, man, Mr. Joe Cronin. Him and Jake DeMarco, man, if you have not checked out their wrestling show on YouTube, the Joe Cronin Show, I mean, great stuff. And I'm going to be honest with you. Joe Cronin is one of the main reasons why I'm doing podcasts. I mean, he motivated me for years, okay? This guy, I used to watch this guy do his thing. He gave me the confidence to start the podcast, And honestly, if I didn't start the podcast, I probably wouldn't even have a career in radio. I wouldn't have a career in radio. I wouldn't be working at 90.9 FM in South Carolina. So thank you, Joe. But I have to disagree with something that he said on his review about WrestleMania. It was about fans getting what they want. Fans getting what they want and what he actually wants. Check it out.
I want the matches to be good. More than anything. More than anything. Let me make this clear to everybody. More than anything. I want the matches to be good. And I want the stories to be good. The stories were not good. And if the matches aren't good, I'm looking for matches. Dude, I'm looking for Roddy Piper and Bret Hart WrestleMania 8. I'm looking for Macho Man versus Ric Flair at WrestleMania 8 type of heat and story and match. I'm looking for Stone Cold Steve Austin type people. I'm looking for Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart at WrestleMania 12. I'm looking for Stone Cold versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13.
I love you, Joe, but that's wishful thinking. That's wishful thinking. This is the difference between WWE superstars now and WWE superstars then. You look at people like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bret the Hitman Hart, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, Macho Man Randy Savage. What is the difference between them and current WWE superstars? The territories. You look at where these guys actually came from. You got Ric Flair coming from the NWA, the Jim Crockett promotions. You got Bret the Hitman Hart, Calgary Stampede Wrestling. You got Shawn Michaels. You know, he come down from Texas, and then he goes into WWE. You look at these guys, they came from the territories, so they got an opportunity to work with some of their elder statesmen who taught them the ins and the outs of the business versus modern day WWE superstars who actually decide at the age of 18 to go to Florida, pack up all their stuff in the back of the little hatchback of the Yaris that their parents give them, and they drive out to Florida and they go to the WWE Performance Center where every single person in the Performance Center does the same exact thing. They go to promo class, they bump the same, their wrestling style is the same, everything is the same. There's nothing different. Bret the Hitman Hart, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, Macho Man Randy Savage, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. These people had a style of their own that was developed through the territories, going to different places, wrestling different superstars. What you're asking for is never going to happen. It's not going to happen. Even if you take a guy who comes from Ring of Honor or Impact Wrestling or New Japan Pro Wrestling, he's not going to be able to wrestle the same style. He's not going to be able to deliver the same promos as he did from the promotion he actually came from. So wanting that type of superstar that those guys were is wishful thinking.
I'm looking for the Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan at 6. Macho Man versus Hulk Hogan at 5. I'm looking for moments and matches. I'm looking for Hulk Hogan, The Rock at WrestleMania 18.
Goes back to what I was saying. Crowd participation. These matches, that's what made those matches great. Crowd participation. The Rock versus Hulk Hogan in Toronto. For 5 minutes, these guys did absolutely nothing, and the crowd just went absolutely crazy. The place became unglued. That match wasn't even that good. It wasn't. It was not even that good. It was the crowd participation. That is what we remember. We remember those two walking up to each other, standing in the middle of the ring, looking from the left, looking to the right, and the crowd just going crazy. Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior. One of the main reasons why I became a wrestling fan. The very first VHS that my mom had ever rented for me from Blockbuster Video was WrestleMania 6. Was not a great match. It was two larger-than-life characters, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, who did the same exact thing. Stood in the middle of the ring and made fans make a decision. Which babyface are you going to choose? Are you going to choose the immortal Hulk Hogan? Or are you going to choose the Ultimate Warrior? Crowd participation. A lot of the times we think that we're seeing greatness, but in reality, it's a mixture between match and crowd participation. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Joe.
Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan gave us a decent story and a really good match tonight. The Miz and Shane gave us an okay story and what I thought was all right of a match, I guess, tonight. And everything else,
we got to take it easy. We got to take it easy. And this is one of the main reasons why WWE dragged their feet in giving us what we want. Because our mind changes so much. Our emotional investment changes from week to week. And I think that we look at WWE, especially us older fans. I mean, we do. We look at WWE because we want it to be the way that it used to be. But it won't. It'll never be that way again. It will never be. Man, the whole Attitude Era and what it stood for and what it was will never be duplicated. Number one is because of cable television versus DVR. If the Monday Night Wars was going on today, it wouldn't be the same. Because if I wanted to watch WCW and WWE, all I had to do was record WCW and then watch WWE and then go back and watch WCW. But you couldn't do that. You had to make a choice right then and there. What show that you were going to watch? You had to make that choice right then and there. That's what made it special. The superstars, man, those hungry superstars that probably was getting rah-rah speeches every week to say, give me your best. Versus a company now that is a giant and they are their own competition. The WWE is the king who is getting fed grapes from 20 beautiful maidens whose kingdom sits on top of a hill and looks down in the valley. That's what WWE is. And they don't have any competition, so they can dictate and do whatever they want to do. Wishful thinking. WWE gave us what we wanted. I can't even hate. I can't hate today because I wanted Finn Balor to win, and he won. Most people wanted Finn Balor to get a push and win, and he did. Was the storyline good? Absolutely not. I will agree with Joe on that. But he won. Becky Lynch. We wanted Becky to win. She won. This was a classic WrestleMania. Back in the days, I don't know about any of you new viewers, but back in the day, WWE used to run this format all the time. It was about the babyface getting the one-up on the heel. It always was like that. I mean, it's always been that way. Hulk Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter turns his back on the United States. In comes Hulk Hogan to take down the heel Sergeant Slaughter for the US of A. Macho Man Randy Savage beating 4 men in a tournament to become WWF champion. He was a babyface. It was him getting his one-up on all of those heels that made his life hell leading up to the big match. I mean, we need to stop it, man. Like, we really need to stop. WWE WrestleMania 35 was really good. Was it great? No. Did it have room to be improved? Yes. You know, Bubba Ray Dudley said something that stuck out to me. He was on the Chris Jericho podcast. And he said, fans take away from their own experiences by critiquing wrestling with a fine-tooth comb. He said, is everything going to be good? No. He basically talked about a rock concert. He said, if you go to a rock concert and you hear the lead singer sing a song and he doesn't hit one good note, you're not going to say that the show was terrible because he hit one bad note. It's still a great body of work, and you're looking at a rock and roll star. That's how I look at it with WWE. I mean, I can't even hate. Usually, I'll get on here and I say, man, look, they ain't do a good job. But I can't even hate. I can't hate today. WWE gave us what we wanted as fans. I don't know what everybody wanted. I mean, of course, it wasn't 100%. But they gave us what we wanted. They gave us a story. They gave us characters that we were emotionally invested in. And we watched those people that we were emotionally invested in go over. End of story. So my only question to you is, what the hell are you complaining about? Peace.